All right. Cersei, you look so festive this morning.
I was gonna do it in front of the tree, but I'll do that tomorrow.
Well, I'm glad you didn't because I have not. I actually, before we came on here, I did
Uh-huh.
put like the
Oh, you put
structure.
the structure up at least. Yeah, that's the start. Because once you have the structure up, because I had the structure up for 1 week before I put any ornaments on it. But it kind of helps you to like it's okay, it's there, so you'll end up doing it.
Yeah, yeah, because it's in my face and
Exactly.
it's lit. I bought, I got an artificial tree this
Exactly. So now
year.
it's even more encouraging. And the lights are nice. You'll just end up putting on
Yeah.
some in stages, even a few here, a few there. Yeah.
Well, the one that I bought actually came with the lights built in, and
Right. So
so
you don't need to add lights. You just
I
need to
don't
add the
have to
decorations.
deal with that. Yeah, and they're LED lights, so they're gonna
Yeah.
last like forever. So that's
Yeah.
so
That's
cool.
perfect.
Yeah, I'm glad I caught that Black Friday sale. I usually never shop on Black
So
Friday.
yeah, so tomorrow you could do it even if it has no decorations. The lights on the tree alone is nice. Just
Yeah,
even by
yeah.
itself.
I just have to spread out the branches. I can do that as I'm walking by it. I'll just
Yeah, that's what I did. I did it in stages. I would stop, do this, and then another day, and then I would put decorations on. We did it all together, and then I would add more as I said it was empty in little spaces. So
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So I got a game plan.
As long as you have it up a few days before Christmas.
Yeah, yeah. So good morning, everybody. We are live on Facebook and YouTube. We're so glad you're here. Cersei, do you want to kick us off with
Hey
what we're doing?
guys, we are here to launch the 12 days of Christmas to getting healthy. And so today is day one, but we wanted to kind of give you an overview of what the 12 days are going to look like. And then we wanted to kick off 12 days today. And so we're going to just be coming live to you every day starting tomorrow. After today, we're going to come around 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, just a quick little live that's just going to be going over the 12 days of Christmas. So Gigi will pull up that screen with the one and we'll just go over what they're going to be and then we'll jump into it. Just a
Yeah,
little way to kind of motivate you as we kind of make it a holiday theme in terms of getting healthy. So
yeah. So all right, so let's see. I don't know. Can you see my screen? I'm not sure if I'm doing this right, Cersei.
not yet.
Okay. All right. So let's see.
If
Window.
not,
Oh, there we go. I'll
okay.
share that.
Yeah. There we go.
Good.
So the whole theme, guys, is about giving yourself the gift of health. Because I know the season is all about a lot of times, of course, it's the birth of Christ. That should be the number one focus. But we spend a lot of time giving gifts and buying gifts and finding that right little gift. But the truth of the matter is, we figured when you really think about it during the holidays, the best gift you can give yourself is the gift of health. And so, what does that look like? And so, we wanted to go through the 12 days of Christmas with that theme in mind. How can I give myself the gift of health? Because that's the ultimate gift, because that's the gift that keeps giving. Because when you give yourself the gift of health, you are better to give to others in every way, and that's really what the holidays is about giving and compassion and sharing God's love around the world, and we can better able to do that when we give ourselves the gift of health. So today we are going to be talking about 12 reasons to for better health in 2022. 11, and I won't sing it because normally it's like 11 things you need for prayer space, but I won't even go there, guys, because you don't want to be horrified by my singing. But we're going to just talk it through, but sing it in your head, guys. 10 glasses of water, 9 go to Daniel recipes, 8 hours of sleep each night, 7 servings of veggies, 6 prayer goals, 5 servings of fruit,
Oh, you're
four
brave.
servings of whole grains, 3 sets of 10 jumping jacks, 2 servings of beans, and ultimately 1 gift of health. And we'll talk about what that special gift of health is on the very last day.
Yeah. So, okay, I'm gonna unshare my screen
Mhm.
now. And Jennifer's like, sing it.
Guys, I'm the worst singer ever, but it's hard not to get that jingle going when you hear that song, right?
It takes a lot of guts, Percy. I gotta give it to you. Yeah, so we created a special guide for you that you can
Mhm.
download if you want to participate in some or all of this with us.
Mhm.
So we're going to be going live daily, and we created a downloadable PDF that we'll attach the link to in both YouTube as well as our Facebook group. And for those that are in the course and the program, I sent this out earlier this morning, so you have it first.
Mhm.
And so this PDF is just really to help guide you through the 12 days. So I actually already created, my
Mhm.
12 reasons for better health in 2022, and I know
Yeah.
Cersei's got some that she'll
Yeah.
mention. So for me, I'll just share a couple. We won't go through the whole list.
Yeah.
But one of the, and this is in no particular order, okay? No particular, this is just
Mhm.
kind of like a brainstorm. I
Yeah.
didn't go back and prioritize and rank order. I didn't do all that stuff. But
Mhm.
one of the reasons that I have here is to show up better for my family. So
Mm.
for me, it's about, one of the reasons is, that I'm present, that I'm not irritable or
Mhm.
grumpy or, sluggish and tired. So it's really just to show up better for my family. That's one of the reasons. What about you, Cersei?
Yeah, for me, for 2022, and I was just actually really meditating over this over the last weeks as I move into 2022 as a way that I wanted to kind of level up was being an example of health for my daughter, like integrating her more into this process and really teaching her on her level, what being healthy means and creating that generational pass on or gift or whatever you want to call it. But I want to be more intentional about it. I think I'm doing it just by the nature of you're on that journey, so she automatically sees it. But I think this year I want to be more intentional, so that's one of my reasons, is being able to really lay a solid intentional foundation for her in that
Mhm.
way. So that was one of my whys for the 12 days.
Yeah, I'll mention another one
Hmm.
for me. Um, it's really to have more energy to reach more women to
Mm.
be a part of this movement.
Yes.
When we set out to do this, Cersei, it started with COVID and the comorbidities
Hmm.
in the Black and Brown communities,
Hmm.
and that having a greater adverse impact in terms of complications and death.
Hmm.
And we
Hmm.
were just like, hey, we know the solution to this,
Hmm.
long
Hmm.
before vaccines and everything. And we were
Yeah.
just like, well, let's just get rid of the disease. Let's get rid of the
Root
comorbidity,
cause. Yeah.
root cause.
Hmm.
And so we know that the numbers are insanely high in terms of obesity, type 2 diabetes, and heart
Hmm.
disease, and other kind of immunocompromised conditions. And food is medicine. You know that, I know that, and those that have, adopted that lifestyle know it, feel it, and are living it. And so for me, I just want to have, because there, when you look at the number of, um, people who are affected by this, and you look at the number
Hmm.
of Christians in the world,
Hmm.
people who
Yeah.
consider themselves spiritual,
Yeah.
um, it's a lot. It's a lot of
Mhm.
people. And
Mhm.
so, it's for me, the health comes into play in terms of having the physical energy as well as the
Mhm.
mental strength and clarity, spiritual
Mhm.
strength and
Mhm.
clarity to reach those women and grow this movement that we started during the pandemic.
Yes, and I'm gonna just piggyback off of that, Gigi, because that was one of my 12. But I'll just talk about it, I guess, from my perspective. I kind of feel like for 2022, one of the reasons for me is that I really wanted to have, again, stemming from our program and stemming from everything that we're doing, but I really wanted to be a Daniel of my time.
Hmm.
And I feel like I wanted to be someone that stood out in the culture against the foods and against the things that were making us sick, And so for me, that was one of my whys. It's like, as we're doing this Daniel fast and we're inspired by this story, I didn't want it to just be a story for me. I didn't want it to just be, yes, I read Daniel and he did this and he did that, but I wanted to recreate that in my own life and be a Daniel in my own time. And that's what I'm trying to do with this program and everything else. But I wanted, again, when sometimes when you write down your whys, it's not so much that you're not on the path for it, but it's that you make it more intentional. It becomes more real. And that's why it's so important to every now and then, even if you've already written your goal 6 months ago, to always keep coming back to it. And why am I doing this? Because it gives you, it re-energizes you, number one, it refocuses you.
Mhm.
And sometimes you see where you need to tweak things and you see where you need to improve. And Gigi and I are no different than you. We're on our own journey, and there's areas in our lives that we can improve to show up better for ourselves, for you, and ultimately for the women that we're trying to serve. So,
Yeah, great, Cersei. So let's just do one more, just one more.
sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So another one I want to mention, it's a little more specific. It's related
Mm-hmm.
to the second, why I mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
but it's really around inspiring and motivating menopausal and postmenopausal women. I just
Mm-hmm.
have this thing where I see, different posts in different groups, and I
Yes.
from people that I interact with in my community, and they say a lot of the same things. As soon as I hit menopause, my mental clarity went away, my the weight just started coming on, I just feel sluggish and all this stuff. And so I went through menopause. I mentioned before, I think it was started around 47 years old. I'm 50 now. So I think I'm considered postmenopausal by the definition.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's like there are things you can do to reduce a lot of the symptoms. And we've shared some with, what we called our healthy habit series, now folded
Mm-hmm.
into healthy for my purpose, but also just in terms of lifestyle, nutrition, physical activity and sleep and all those things. And so I just hope to be more of an inspiration and motivator for women who
Mm-hmm.
are going through that stage in life. Because it doesn't, the life, your life isn't over. It doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
Your life could just be getting started. So that's,
Yeah, and I like that you mentioned that because sometimes you could feel like you get stagnant with that menopause interaction, and how do you get over that hump? So
yeah,
that's a good
yeah.
one. So let's see. So I think another one on my list of why I want to get healthy, um, and of course I talked about the women that we're trying to serve, but even just in my immediate circle of trying to just be an example to my family and my friends, and make a difference in the people that I touch every day. And so part of my why um, is being, I guess, more of an unspoken testimony, because I try not to be, preachy to your family sometimes, because then it becomes something negative. But I think just the living testimony of it, it does help to change your family dynamics, your home. I'm starting even with my own home and then my extended home and family and friends. So, um, one of the reasons of staying the course is just to show that this is something that works. It's a lifestyle that someone can stay the course, that it wasn't a fad. Because my family knows, I have come with a lot of things. Hey guys, look what I'm doing today, and they're like, she's done with that 3 months later. And we all have our things that we maybe have done in the past, but this is something that I have stayed the course. And so that's one of my whys, is to show that this is something that you could do for the rest of your days. And it's not a fad. It's not the in thing. It's not something that you're doing, that you just picked up something. You just, hey guys, I heard about this. No, this is an actual real change of a lifestyle that you're committed to. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Lifestyle. I love that word.
mhm,
Yeah. Because it's
yeah.
ongoing. All
So,
right.
guys, we are hoping that as we do this 12 reasons to why you want to get healthy, that you will take the time, like Gigi and I did, and sit down, print off the PDF, get some quiet time, grab a cup of herbal tea, relax, apple cider, whatever, and just think about, as we're moving closer to 2022, what are your 12 reasons why you want to get healthy? Because that's going to be your foundation as you start to build as we move into 2022. For those of you who are saying, you know what, I'm going to really start off, my health journey, and on a new path.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So tomorrow we're going to jump back on. It'll be a little later on in the
Yeah,
day.
in the evening. Hmm.
Yeah, in the evening or afternoon if you're on the West Coast. And it's 11 things I need for my prayer space. So that's
Mm,
so
yeah. And guys, last year we talked about, Gigi and I talked about actually creating a prayer closet or a prayer space in your home. And so we ended up creating our own spaces. So kind of just think about that as we go into tomorrow. Do you have a prayer space? Do you need a prayer space? And how can you make that better? So
yeah.
yeah, so leave a comment, guys, and let us know one of your whys on the bottom of this video, whether you're on YouTube or you're on Facebook. Just let us know one of your whys. We'd love to hear from other people. It's inspiring to hear others, what they're thinking and where they're at. So,
All right. So we'll
all
see
right,
you tomorrow.
all
Bye.
right, bye.